much. My name is Lily Wu. I migrated to China, from China to here 20 years ago. I'm living with mental illness since I was 18 years old. I'm really appreciate ACOSS has give me the scholarship to attend this conference and listen to all the presenters' speech. It's really moved me, especially Renee's speech. It's really moved me. I really appreciate it. But as the president said, there are 340,000 people, 3,000 of, I'm not sure the word is, mathematical right is not, 340,000 people live in New Start. What's the challenges for ACOSS or to bring them equality, to make them to be equal with the other citizens? What's the challenges, what's the strategies we can provide for these people in the New Start, can have the rebuild their life, get the education, the training, and to back to the workforce. And especially for me, like migrants, come from another country, language is a problem, and living with mental illness, how can we build the employment? I work for the health service, I work for NGOs, but PRI has given me the stepping stone to the workforce, Psychiatric Rehabilitation Australia in New South Wales. I really appreciate them. They give me the mentoring skills and they give me the stepping stones. But I just would like to know what ACOSS could provide for this large number of the people in the New Start could get in the back workforce. Thank you very much, everyone.
Renee, do you want to comment first?
Go ahead.
Right. No. Oh, look, thank you. The important focus on the need to support people who are not in paid work is really at the heart of what ACOSS has been talking to the government about. And we talk about, I think when Simon talked about some simple truths, we are very clear in saying that it is a simple truth that it is to deny a person dignity to be expecting them to live on $34 a day. It's just, it's an inhuman position to put somebody in, let alone to expect that person to stay motivated and to have courage to continue to knock on doors to find paid work. So that's been a very clear message, and I think there's a really growing determination amongst all of us to say that this is an absolute must to address the very, very low, unacceptably low state that's got in its politics that's taken it there, because this is a group of people on social security who are the least, in quotes, deserving in the political sphere, but we are determined. And we've also been very clear in what we think needs to be done about providing more sensitive, more appropriate, more flexible support to meet a person where they're at, to provide the kind of assistance that is driven by them, ideally, about how to support them back into paid work, because everybody's story is different, and when you get treated like a widget, you will respond like one. Renee, do you want to comment
about that? Just what I said about not dividing people into silos. I was recently at the National Disability Conference in New South Wales, and there were some really good innovative practices around employment in the disability sector. And I think the disability sector and mental health sector have stayed too far apart. And I think that we really need to be careful not to create our own silos. And I think that, for example, if the mental health sector, disability sector were working much closer together on employment, I think we could make progress there.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I'm Brian Collingburn. I'm a semi-retired activist. I was interested in the lady over there who has been through and has become an expert on mental health problems, because one of the most vital parts of all these campaigns is not just those with the expertise in dealing with intelligentsia, government, etc., but those who know intimately what the problem is. I heard a saying years ago, when society kicks you into the gutter, that's when you get a good view of how rotten the foundations of society are. Now, other thing, 50, 60 years ago, nothing could be done because society couldn't afford it. So we need economics and all the other things. Now, for the fair go, we need a society, an informed society. President Sukarno talked about a guided democracy. With the media control we've got now, we have a misguided democracy. And how we deal with that problem, I don't know, but it is a problem that has to be dealt with. And this is one of the reasons you don't get a fair go in Australia. Oh, by the way, from about 50 or 60 years ago, one professor of economics says, the reason the middle income pays so much tax is because the poor can't and the rich won't. And
I think that's in our submission, actually.
And on the cost, the reason youth welfare there's not enough money for, education there's not enough money for, I just add that they are robbing the minors to pay the miners. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Shall we take that as a great comment? Yeah. And a question over here.
Hello, my name is Alexa McLaughlin and I'm also grateful to have received support to attend the conference. Thank you. I'm a volunteer activist in a whole range of issues, and in particular I work with a group of people who suffer from chemical sensitivities, and apart from the very rubbery smelling lifts, this is actually a really good environment, thank you. I was really appreciative of the comment that Simon made about the importance of how we treat each other. It seems to me with all the challenges that we're facing, we can be focused on the outcomes we're looking for and lose track a little bit of how we do it amongst each other. I'm very conscious that there's been a big focus in the media in recent times on bullying in children, perhaps not as much awareness of the way in which it's impacting on us as adults, of people who make trouble for other people and the way that that can cause exclusion. And so I want to encourage you to take away from this conference both all the being inspired to continue to pursue things that you're doing and to think about how you do it with each other.
Yes.